Hi everyone, welcome to the course Everyone Can Code. In today's video, we are going to write a program that multiplies two numbers using Russian multiplication. So we'll return the product of two given numbers in the form of a string, but the product will be calculated using Russian multiplication. So let's understand what Russian multiplication is. One of the many ways to multiply two numbers is by Russian multiplication technique. The idea is to halve the first number and to double the second number repeatedly till the first number becomes 0. So you halve the first number and double the second till the first number reaches 0. Now in this process of division and multiplication, whenever the first number becomes odd, we add the second number to the result. And the final result that is obtained by adding all the second numbers whenever the first number is odd is the product of the given two numbers. So there are certain method specifications to take care of. If the given values are 27 and 35, so you have to find the product of 27 and 35. We have to return a string, not just the product, we have to return a string of Russian multiplication as 35 plus 70 plus 280 plus 560 equals to 945. Now these 35, 70, 280 and 560 are all the numbers that in the process of division and multiplication have added up to give us the final product of 945. If any given value is negative or 0, we return -1 as the string. And if any given value is greater than or equal to, then we return -2. At each stage, you must add the result to the output string so that finally you have the whole output string of all the numbers that add up to combine and give you the result. So before the final result, you need to add the string equal to, and between all the numbers that add up, you need to make sure that you add a plus symbol. So let's take a look at the program. So we start by creating our class. We're going ahead in the same project that we have done before, ECC2. So we create the class by the name Russian multiplication. Now I'm removing this piece of code that is auto-generated and adding the code template that we receive. Okay, so we have a main, we have two sample numbers that we want to find the product of. We can use these or we can use any dummy variables or numbers. And then finally, we have our getProduct function wherein we'll write our code shortly. So we start off by removing the current error that is there in the program. We add a string result, assign a blank string and just return it. Now before jumping into the logic of the code, we first take care of the method specifications that were mentioned, the corner cases that were mentioned that needs to be taken care of. So we start off by creating two if conditions that take care of the two conditions mentioned. As you see, I've written the conditions inside the if num1 is less than 0 or num2 is less than 0. As per the condition specified, we'll return -1. And similarly, if either of the numbers is greater than a lakh, we will return -2. Now let's run and see if our program does this much for us. So let's say get product, we do -3. Save and run. Now since the number is negative, our output should be -1, which is correct. Now let's say if we have a number greater. So let's say the number is, now the output should be -2, which is correct. Now we move on to the rest of the logic. So for that, after the result variable, we first create a variable to store the product. So let's say prod and initialize it to 0 for now. So now we write a while loop that will run till the first number becomes 0. Now inside this while loop, the first condition to be tested is whether the first number is odd or not. So if num1 mod 2 is equals to 0 or not. Now as the condition specified, if the first number is odd, we add the second number to the product. So we'll do the same process here. So we have added the second number to the product since our first number is an odd number. Now to add the numbers, since this number is added to the product, it also has to be added to the result string. So to check whether this is the first number added to the result string or not, we create a variable called isFirst and mark it as true. Now the first time code enters inside this if loop, the isFirst will be true, and that would mean that the result string first number would be this particular number. So we simply check if isFirst and we add the number to the result string, and simultaneously we set isFirst to false. Now if it is not first for the coming numbers, we add the number to the result string after adding a plus symbol. So the result string will have the plus symbol and then the number. Now that we have done that in this if-else condition, if isFirst, we are just adding it to true, and also at this point we'll set isFirst to false. And then in the else condition, if it is not first, we'll add the number after a plus sign. Now once this if condition is checked, for the next iteration, in every iteration as, we need to divide the first number by 2 and multiply the second number by 2. That is it. Now finally, before returning the result, we also need to add the final product to the result string after adding an equal to sign. So we simply write result plus equal to the equal to sign followed by our product, and this final string result would be then returned. So this is the whole function. Let's see how it works for 27 and 35. So as you see, the final product of the two numbers is 945, and it is the sum of 35, 70, 280 and 560. So you can go ahead and try for different numbers, run through the iterations of while loop and understand Russian multiplication better. I hope you understood the coding part of it through the video. Thank you for watching and happy coding.